Mr. Terrific number 5, written by Eric Wallace and drawn by Gianluca Gugliotta. Left off last issue with Mr. Terrific busting out some aliens on this krill ship and then just getting a whole jailbreak thing going on. This issue picks up same place. They're fighting off the krill. They're opening up a whole bunch of cells so that they can just have numbers on their side, and basically the krill start retreating. They start running towards their own ship. There's a whole thing of him talking to the really big purple giant guy who helped him escape. His name was Erdron, and apparently he was a warrior, but now he tends gardens. So maybe that's like a Thanos thing. I don't know. Regardless, the krill start retreating onto other ships, leaving this one vacant. And Michael makes the point of how back in slavery, of the slave trade, that some people who were doing the slave trade would purposely kill off the slaves rather than have them be free. So he thinks that that's a similar situation that's going on now, where they're not retreating, they are abandoning the ship so that they can just blow it up. So he's looking for anything that they can use as a good enough weapon, and he finds everyone else was basically kept in minimal security, but there's one super tough locked door that he manages to get to. And when he opens it up, there's just one small, alien child in there named Pelothea. And we get Pelothea's story of how they're cursed and they're a monster because on their planet, the males, I guess you're hermaphroditic or something like that until you hit puberty, and then you either develop male or female traits. And the males can manipulate and expel energy, whereas the females can absorb energy. But Pelothea, they managed to hit puberty, and just neither showed up. So they were sold to the krill for some money or whatever, because they were seen as an abomination or whatever. But Mr. Terrific's like, you can absorb and redirect energy and stuff. That's actually really, really useful, because I have a feeling they're about to Death Star us from space, so I need you to believe in yourself. And Pelothea's like, no, I can't do it. For 4 pages. And they keep on saying how they finally retreated everybody into the mothership. Oh, they're powering up the laser. Oh, they're readying the laser. It's it just keeps going with that for 4 pages. And it's all just an inspirational speech by Mr. Terrific of, your special Pelothea, unique light in the cosmos, already full of luminous stars. That sort of thing. Until eventually, it comes down to the moment. It's all right, on my mark, fire. And it fires, and Pelothea's finally I am neither the Alpha nor the Omega. I am both. Ha! And it takes the Death Star laser and fires it back at the ship. Therefore, maybe not completely destroying the krill race, but getting darn close to it. At least making a dent. And everyone is safe, and everyone's like, oh, thank you, Michael. We are so grateful for what you've done. And he's like, hey, it's all good. I managed to get one of my T-spheres working again, so I can use that to teleport out of here back home. You all do you. So he shakes some hands, says how nice it was to get to know them, and leaves. When he gets back, he has one of those little crises of identity. He's like, they all managed to have such differing things. He was a warrior than a gardener, and Pelothea had the two warring sides within themselves. What if my intellectual identity isn't all that I am? What if I can come to terms with that? And then we see a party going on in Oregon of Stephen Wyzek, the rival billionaire to Holt Industries. He's getting a call from Donald Leeson, who I guess is part of Holt Industries, and he's doing some espionage. And he lets, I've already forgotten his name, Wyzek, know that Holt has called a upper staff meeting first thing in the morning. And so this is the moment where the heir to the Holt empire is going to be revealed. And Wyzek's just good, now the circle revolution can begin, which I couldn't care less about. I don't understand what the point of the krill story was. I don't get it. We left off where he was leaving because of his anger and his hatred, being something that he couldn't control or something. And he came back learning that, okay, maybe he doesn't have to, or maybe he doesn't have to bury a part of him like that. I guess that's the moral, but I'm more so confused about why did we have to have interdimensional alien things in order to get that? That just seems like really far out there. Like, if they wanted to turn it into a sci-fi book, go ahead, turn it into a sci-fi book. But now we're going back to the corporate espionage thing, and I'm like, what was the point of it if we're just going back to the corporate espionage? I don't know. I was more interested in the sci-fi than I was any of the corporate stuff. So maybe that's just my personal taste. But regardless, overall, I'm going to give this one a 6. It has its issues, but overall, it's a decent, just little story of, okay, well, we've got it, and he's making these deductions, and he's showing how smart he is and how, coming to terms with his own stuff. I think that it's a bit wordy at times, but I'm willing to let it, for an issue that is basically one glorified inspirational speech, I'm willing to let that slide. So, yeah, I'll give it a 6. I hope that they can do something interesting with corporate espionage, but honestly, I don't care anymore.